Alyssa Thomas just got caught by the WNBA for using steroids, and honestly, this is beyond shocking. I mean, how low can you really go just to get ahead? Using steroids is banned in every sport for a reason. It's cheating. It's about artificially inflating your body with fake strength, trying to become something you're not. And in this case, it seems Alyssa Thomas couldn't handle the reality of playing clean. Now let's get real here. Imagine being so insecure about your game that you need to resort to steroids to keep up. It's laughable. Alyssa Thomas, one of the top names in the WNBA, has been exposed for cheating, and it's got everyone talking. We all know the reputation she's built over the years, tough, relentless, and dominant on the court, but apparently none of that was enough, and now she's caught trying to take shortcuts. The question on everyone's mind is, will the league actually hold her accountable? Or will she somehow slip through the cracks, leaving her competition clean while she cheats her way to the top? Let's dive into why this is such a huge deal and what it means for Alyssa Thomas and the entire WNBA. The scandal unfolds. Alyssa Thomas using steroids. Can you believe it? The same player who's been all over the highlights for her aggressive play style and leadership on the court. This is the woman who built her entire brand on being this unstoppable, gritty, blue-collar athlete. And now, to see that fall apart so suddenly, it's almost hard to wrap your head around. What makes this even crazier is that Alyssa Thomas has been a consistent presence in the WNBA for years. She's not some rookie trying to prove herself. She's a veteran, someone who's supposed to be leading by example. And yet, here we are, with the league investigating allegations that she's been using performance-enhancing drugs to get an edge. The news broke like a bombshell. Fans, analysts, and players alike are left wondering what's going on behind the scenes. But here's the thing, cheating like this doesn't just hurt her reputation, it damages the credibility of the entire league. Every game, every play, every victory that Alyssa Thomas has been a part of is now under scrutiny. How long has this been going on? And if she's willing to use steroids, what else is she hiding? Now, don't get me wrong, Alyssa Thomas has been one of the toughest players to guard in the WNBA, but with this steroid scandal looming over her, it raises the question, has she been playing fair all along? Or was she just hiding behind these illegal enhancements, hoping no one would notice? Alyssa's fragile ego. This whole situation brings another layer to Alyssa Thomas's character. Remember how she's always been that player who's quick to call out others, never afraid to get into it with opponents on the court? She's known for her trash talk and her in-your-face style of play. But now, with these steroid allegations, it's almost like the mask is slipping. For someone who has always prided herself on being the hardest worker, the strongest competitor, this scandal shows just how fragile her ego really is. It seems like she couldn't handle the fact that other players in the league were outshining her without taking any shortcuts. So instead of upping her game the right way, she chose to take a shortcut. And let's not ignore the timing here. Right as other players in the league, like Breanna Stewart or Aja Wilson, are dominating headlines for their clean, incredible performances, Alyssa Thomas's name is being dragged into the mud with this steroid mess. It almost reeks of desperation, like she couldn't keep up with the competition and decided to take the easy way out. The impact on the WNBA. This scandal is not just a blow to Alyssa Thomas, it's a hit to the WNBA as a whole. The league has been working hard to promote itself as a place where strong, talented women thrive through hard work and dedication. But now, with one of its star players caught in a steroid scandal, it's raising questions about the integrity of the sport. Think about it. If someone as prominent as Alyssa Thomas is willing to cheat, it puts a cloud over the entire league. Every player's performance could come under suspicion, even those who are clean. Fans might start to wonder how many others are taking shortcuts, how many of those highlight reel plays are truly the result of raw talent, and how many are boosted by illegal enhancements. The WNBA is in a precarious position. It's a league that has been fighting for more visibility, more respect, and more coverage in a sports landscape that often overlooks women's basketball. This kind of scandal can set all of that back. If the league doesn't take swift and decisive action, it risks losing credibility in the eyes of its fans and potential sponsors. And then there's the question of how other players are reacting to this news. Players like Breanna Stewart, Aja Wilson and Sabrina Ionescu have built their reputations on hard work and talent. They've earned their spot at the top without taking shortcuts. So how do they feel about Alyssa Thomas's steroid scandal? Are they angry that someone who took the easy way out is tarnishing the league's image? You can bet that locker room conversations are heating up and players are going to demand answers from the league. The fallout for Alyssa Thomas. As for Alyssa Thomas herself, the fallout could be devastating. Steroid scandals have a way of sticking with an athlete long after the initial headlines fade. If the WNBA's investigation confirms these allegations, Alyssa's career might never recover. We've seen this play out in other sports. Once you're labeled a cheater, it's almost impossible to shake that stigma. Her accomplishments, her accolades, her legacy, all of that could be erased in the minds of fans and fellow players. Everything she's worked for will be questioned, and she'll have to live with the fact that people will always wonder if she could have done it without cheating. And let's not forget the impact this will have on her future in the league. Suspension, absolutely. But what about her endorsements, her image? Alyssa Thomas has built a brand, and that brand is at risk of crumbling. Sponsors don't want to be associated with someone who cheats, and her fans, those who have followed her journey from college ball to the WNBA, might start to turn their backs on her. It's not just about losing games or missing out on the playoffs. It's about losing everything she's built. Her reputation, her future opportunities in and out of basketball. All of it is on the line. The bigger picture. But this scandal is more than just about Alyssa Thomas. It's a reflection of the pressures that athletes, especially women, face in professional sports. The WNBA is more competitive than ever, and the pressure to perform at an elite level is intense. Players are constantly compared, criticized, and scrutinized, especially in a league where every player is fighting for a share of the spotlight. For someone like Alyssa Thomas, who has been a key figure in the league, the pressure to maintain her status as a top player must have been overwhelming. But that doesn't excuse cheating. In fact, it makes her actions even more disappointing. She had the talent, the platform, and the respect of her peers. She didn't need steroids to stay relevant, but now that she's taken that route, she's thrown all of that away. This scandal is also a reminder that athletes are human. They make mistakes, they feel pressure, and sometimes they take the wrong path. But what separates the greats from the rest is how they handle adversity. Will Alyssa Thomas own up to her mistakes and face the consequences? Or will she continue to deny, deflect, and hope this all blows over? Only time will tell, but one thing is for sure. Her career and the legacy she leaves behind will never be the same. The road to redemption. So, where does Alyssa Thomas go from here? Is there a path to redemption, or has she damaged her career beyond repair? Historically, athletes who have been caught using performance-enhancing drugs face an uphill battle. Some manage to make a comeback, but they often have to work twice as hard to regain the trust and respect they lost. For Alyssa, that road will be even tougher because she wasn't just a regular player, she was a star. Her fall from grace is much more public, and the expectations for her recovery will be higher. If Alyssa Thomas wants to salvage her career, she'll need to face the music. Denial or playing the victim won't cut it. Fans might be willing to forgive her, but only if she takes full responsibility and shows that she's committed to playing clean from here on out. A public apology, a promise to do better, and a willingness to rebuild from the ground up. That's her only real shot at redemption. A fall from grace Alyssa Thomas's story is one that serves as a cautionary tale for athletes across all sports. She was a star player, a role model, and a force to be reckoned with on the court. But now with this steroid scandal, never be fully cleaned. The WNBA is left with a difficult decision on how to handle this. The league needs to act swiftly, not just for Alyssa Thomas, but for the integrity of women's basketball as a whole. Fans and players alike deserve to know that the game they love is being played fairly, without shortcuts or cheating. As for Alyssa Thomas, her future in the league is uncertain. She has a long road ahead if she wants to repair her reputation and regain the trust of fans. But in the end, it's up to her. Will she accept responsibility and work to rebuild what she's lost? Or will this scandal mark the end of her career as we know it? One thing is clear, No matter what happens next, the shadow of this scandal will follow her for the rest of her life. And in the world of sports, that's a burden few athletes can bear. Few